A brief silence falls, but it's short-lived. One of the creatures lunges at Drasa. She reacts instinctively, emptying her clip into it. As more hollow men ascend, Levi's shot triggers a landmine, but the blast also injures Drasa. Welcome to Cephastock Movie Recaps. Today we delve into the details of The Gorge full movie recap. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Thank you. In a quiet forest, a young woman wakes, marking day 10 on her calendar. This life has become routine. In the distance, an aircraft lands on a secluded airstrip. She pulls out a sniper rifle, shooting a high-profile man stepping out. She retrieves her bullet casing and disappears into the trees. At the same time, a man jolts awake from a nightmare, his past haunting him. Sleep won't come, so he grabs his car keys and drives to the beach. Sitting by the shore, he stares at the waves, lost in thought, jotting notes in a small book. His phone buzzes, a message with instructions of a location and time for his next destination, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. He meets a woman claiming to be a high-ranking government agent. Introducing herself as Bartholomew, she recruits mercenary Marine sniper Levi Kane.
As an elite sniper, you have 100...
An elite marksman with 113 confirmed kills. But those numbers may not be entirely accurate.
No.
She offers him a top-secret year-long mission, chosen specifically for his skills and his complete lack of personal ties.
What if I gave you a reason?
On the other side in Lithuania, the young sniper from earlier visits a cemetery carrying flowers. She finds her father, Ericus, playing his saxophone by his late wife's grave. They share a quiet moment, raising a toast. "My little lion," he calls her fondly. Ericus wishes she could stay longer, but she reveals she's been assigned to a mysterious mission lasting a year or more. With a heavy heart, Ericus shares his own plan. He intends to take his life on Valentine's Day, choosing to reunite with his wife before cancer claims him.
I will be ready.
It's a heartbreaking truth, one that lingers between them as they sit together, cherishing what little time they have left.
And say a proper goodbye.
Levi regains consciousness aboard a military plane, groggy from sedation. The pilot verifies his fingerprint, confiscates his personal belongings, and refuses to disclose any details about his mission.
I'm not authorized to answer that.
Without further explanation, Levi is ordered to parachute into an unknown location. He lands safely in a dense forest and treks for miles through rugged mountains. As he reaches a fog-covered valley, a voice calls from behind.
At long last, my sweet prince.
Turning, he sees JD, the lone soldier he's been sent to replace. JD reveals he has been stationed there for a year, completely isolated. JD briefs Levi on his mission, guarding an observation tower on the western side of a vast gorge, representing Western nations. On the opposite side, an Eastern operative holds a similar post. Communication between them is strictly prohibited, and no contact with the outside world is allowed. This operation has remained a secret since World War II, hidden even from world leaders. Levi's duties include monthly status reports, maintaining landmines and automated turrets, and acting as a final defense against what lurks in the gorge.
Is what we call the Hollow Men.
JD refers to these unknown entities as Hollow Men. When Levi asks how he knows,
Same way you do.
JD explains it's knowledge passed down by his predecessors.
Is the Gorge is the door to hell.
He issues a final warning: no human has ever survived venturing into the gorge. He calls it something far worse than a battlefield, a doorway to hell. As they part ways, Levi eats his first meal in silence, jotting down notes about the eerie stillness of the outpost. Meanwhile, a helicopter arrives for JD. After confirming his identity, a soldier aboard follows Bartholomew's orders, executing JD without hesitation. This means no predecessors survived. Something vital is being kept from the world, and now Levi is unknowingly left alone to face the unknown. As Levi settles into his routine, he maintains landmines, checks automated turrets, and makes his monthly radio report. His questions remain unanswered until the next scheduled check-in,
30 days until next radio check.
30 days later. Feeling isolated, he picks up a book but instead notices words etched onto the wall. Messages from past centuries, offering encouragement to those who might push too far. He brushes it off at first, but while scanning the Eastern Gorge Tower with his binoculars, he spots a figure. To his surprise, it's a woman, the same young sniper from before. Shocked, he wonders what this means for his mission and what secrets the gorge might be hiding. Late at night, a storm traumas Levi awake. Disoriented and uneasy, He steps on broken glass without realizing it. Wincing, he patches himself up and scans his surroundings. Everything seems normal, until he glances out the window toward the eastern outpost. His counterpart, the young woman, notices and quickly turns off her lights. Moments later, she lights a candle and hums softly to herself. It's her birthday. Curious, she picks up her binoculars and searches for Levi. Wanting to get his attention, she fires a shot into the sky. Levi tenses, then signals what's his name. But he quickly follows up, warning her that such actions aren't allowed. Drasa smirks, signaling back, rules are meant to be broken. She proudly writes her name and it's my birthday in large letters. Levi, amused, raises a bottle in her honor. A party isn't a party without music. Drasa challenges him to dance. Levi shakes his head, signaling, I'm a terrible dancer. She grins. Then what can he do? Levi smirks, signaling that he's an excellent shooter. Drasa tests him, shooting his bottle. Levi, annoyed but impressed, shoots hers in return. She claps playfully. But before they continue, she spots movement in the gorge. Hollow men are climbing up. Immediately, they take action, firing at the approaching enemies. A brief silence falls, but it's short-lived. One of the creatures lunges at Drasa. She reacts instinctively, emptying her clip into it. As more hollow men ascend, Levi's shot triggers a landmine, but the blast also injures Drasa. The automated turrets activate, joining the fight. Overwhelmed and wounded, Drasa retreats to treat herself while Levi holds the line. Despite everything, Drasa smiles. Best birthday ever, she signals weakly. Levi giggles, shaking his head. The next day, while replacing mines, Levi gets busy as Drasa holds the line. Their focus shifts when a drone unexpectedly rises from the gorge and flies away. Levi shrugs it off. Months pass and they grow closer, learning to care for each other despite the distance. Drasa finds comfort in playing the piano, and they celebrate Christmas remotely from their towers. Through binoculars and written messages, they play chess and drums, strengthening their bond. Drasa always finds a way to keep things fun, ensuring Levi plays fair even from afar. One night, Levi wakes from a nightmare, only to realize it's just the wind. Meanwhile, Drasa watches him closely from across the gorge. The next day, during his patrol, Levi notices Drasa in tears. She's mourning her father, Awakens, who had told her he planned to end his life on Valentine's Day rather than let his illness take him. The night is quiet when Drasa tells Levi she wishes she could be with him. Seeing her pain, Levi remembers the message left by his predecessors. Only those who risk going too far can find out how far they can go. The next morning, inspired by this, Levi fires a cable across the gorge. Drasa secures it to a tree, and when Levi asks for a dinner, she immediately agrees. He cleans up, grabs some flowers and zip lines across to the east tower. Exhausted but excited, he hands Drasa the flowers. She welcomes him warmly but quickly sends him off to shower, playfully tricking him into fetching her predecessor's clothes from far away. At last, they sit down for a proper dinner. They bond over their shared love for long-distance shooting. Levi reveals his longest shot was 3,241 meters, and Drasa teases him about the 3,800-meter world record in Yemen.
I did not participate in.
He denies it with a smirk. As the evening unfolds, their connection deepens.
Why did you choose this profession?
They talk about the guilt of taking lives and find comfort in their mutual understanding. Enjoying rabbit pie and music, they realize they found something rare, each other. Drasa pulls Levi into a dance, laughing as she reminds him of his lie about being a terrible dancer. Now, there are no more lies, only the undeniable truth that they've found something real at the edge of the world. That night, after a heartfelt evening, Levi shares that he once wrote a poem but refuses to recite it, only revealing its title.
She collapsed the night.
Drasa playfully insists, but he holds back. The next day, Levi prepares to return to the West Tower using the zip line. As he moves across, hollow men trigger the perimeter mines, causing an explosion. The cable snaps, sending Levi plunging toward the gorge. Without hesitation, Drasa grabs her parachute and jumps after him. As Drasa lands, she unknowingly drops the autosender into the river but grabs a branch to steady herself. Nearby, Levi lies unconscious until a massive creature startles him awake. Struggling, he falls into a strange tree's trap, its long, sharp teeth and sticky substance holding him in place. Hearing his cries, Drasa rushes over and frees him.
Don't touch it.
As they catch their breath, they finally see what lies beneath the mist, a vast, eerie amber landscape shrouded in thick fog. Suddenly, hollow men on horseback ambush them. They fight back, taking down most attackers as one escapes. Afterward,
You good?
Drasa discovers her autosender is missing.
Must have fallen out in the river.
Levi notices the hollow men wore old military uniforms from the 1940s. A chilling thought strikes them: these were once soldiers stationed here. But if that's true, how are they still alive? Without her auto-ascender, Drasa and Levi follow the river, searching for another way out. They stumble upon a ruined village, eerily silent except for distant screams. The place feels abandoned, frozen in time. Inside a wrecked church, they discover skeletons with traces of cyanide poisoning. A chilling question haunts them: what horrors could have driven these people to choose death over survival? As they search, eerie sounds echo around them. But the real danger is inside. Their attackers are already there. Spider-like creatures strike first, causing chaos, and soon the hollow men join the fight. They barely escape the monstrous attack, stumbling into a hidden room within the gorge wall. Inside, they find a ruined laboratory, evidence of a long-forgotten research base. As they search the wreckage, they discover an old generator and a videotape. Using a propane-powered backup system, they power up an ancient film reel. The scientist on screen reveals a secret World War II project, a biochemically destructive missile. An earthquake damaged it, releasing a chemical that fused human DNA with plants, animals, and insects. Soldiers became monstrous abominations. Exposure leads to mutation within 5 days. Drasa and Levi must escape before, but why wasn't this nightmare erased?
Last night from the 1940s.
As they explore the facility, Levi spots a computer, far too advanced for the 1940s. A closer look reveals it belongs to Dark Lake. They realize they weren't working for their militaries but for a private corporation experimenting with genetic research to create super soldiers. The US military is harnessing the toxin to build deadly, tactical creatures. Levi finds a folder named Stray Dog, a protocol to destroy the gorge if containment fails.
I left it here. It has all the ammo in it.
Unknowingly, one of the hollow men takes their bag outside the facility.
They're playing with us.
Levi realizes they're being toyed with and moves out with smoke bombs. Drasa picks up the bag but falls into a trap and is captured by a hollow man on horseback. Meanwhile, Levi searches desperately, following their trail to a missile silo. Inside, the hollow men inspect Drasa and injure her further. Drasa struggles and fights back, breaking free from her captor. Just in time, Levi arrives and rescues her. To their shock, the hollow man is revealed to be Bradford Shaw, the first soldier stationed at the West Tower decades ago.
Levi.
To escape the silo, they're shocked to find mutated human tree tendrils blocking their path.
The earthquake damaged the missiles.
The creatures, now more humanoid, seem asleep. They move carefully, but one suddenly awakens, frightening Drasa. A fierce battle ensues, and they manage to destroy the enormous creatures with an explosion, clearing the path to safety. They escape the silo and commandeer a jeep, using its winch to drive toward the cable side, fending off hollow men along the way. It's a risky move, but the only option.
That's it!
Levi?
As the hollow men climb the winch cable, a battle breaks out. Levi quickly improvises, cutting the jeep loose and lighting the gasoline to create an explosion, buying them time to escape. Meanwhile, Levi and Drasa return to the East Outpost and agree to quarantine in their towers for 5 days, the time it takes for toxic exposure to infect them. Levi confides in Drasa, believing he was chosen for his assignment because of his lack of personal connections, making him expendable. But now he has something to live for. Drasa suggests running away to France, but Levi insists they first need to destroy the Gorge to prevent more soldiers from being sent. Before leaving, Levi tells Drasa he loves her, then crosses back to his side on a new zipline. During his radio check-in, Levi tries to report as usual, but Bartholomew interrupts him. She questions Levi about unusual activity detected in the Gorge laboratory. Unaware that Bartholomew has already seen him and Drasa on hidden cameras, Levi denies entering the Gorge. Bartholomew claims Drasa must be responsible for activating the lab systems and needs to be neutralized. She assigns Levi the task of killing Drasa, and although Levi accepts, she knows Levi is lying. Bartholomew then secretly gathers a team to eliminate Levi, claiming that Levi is her terrible mistake. From across the Gorge, Drasa sends Levi a heartfelt message, expressing her love for him. But soon, a helicopter carrying Bartholomew and her soldiers arrives, forcing Levi and Drasa to act quickly. They run to cover a distance of 3.9 kilometers from the Gorge. Bartholomew and her men find Levi's tower abandoned, and they send drones to eliminate both Levi and Drasa. The drones immediately fire, but Levi and Drasa manage to destroy them. Once they reach the 3.9 kilometers mark, they prepare to trigger their planned distraction. Meanwhile, inside the tower, Bartholomew finds Levi's message on the wall that says, "The truth can never be long hidden." With a single coordinated move, Levi and Drasa destroy the cloaking system. Exposing the site to surveillance and triggering the stray dog protocol.
The Gorge is exposed.
Bartholomew's team has only 2 minutes to escape the Gorge. Levi and Drasa must now race the final 400 meters to safety before the bomb detonates. A massive explosion rips through the area, destroying everything in its wake. Bartholomew's helicopter crashes, and Drasa manages to escape. However, Levi, slowed by an injured leg, throws himself into a river just as the explosion reaches him. Whether he survives remains uncertain. Unsure of Levi's fate, Drasa quarantines in a cave, showing no signs of mutation. She finds an envelope from Levi, meant to be opened if he doesn't arrive. Still hopeful, she waits in Nice, France. When he never comes, she reads his poem, She Collapsed the Night, and sheds a tear as she walks away. By April, Drasa is working at a seaside restaurant, building a new life. Then, to her surprise, Levi appears, sliding a napkin across the table, that he will have the rabbit pie. She teases him for being late, but he jokes that injuries from his old job slowed him down. They finally embrace to their freedom. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Feel free to click on the next video. Thank you.